Yeah, I got to meet them at the Senior Bowl and talk to them with a little bit through the combine. I felt like we had a great meeting at both those events, and just when it comes down to this type of day, it's just kind of a waiting game to see who's willing to take you.
We'll go to John and then Brooks.
Hey, Ty, congratulations. Saw you played a lot of roles at Nebraska, 5-year starter, a lot of versatility. How would you describe yourself as a player? What do you do best?
I feel like that versatility is something that I've kind of honed in on, being able to play all over the line. I'm willing to do whatever the coaches need me to do, learn a new role or a new spot, or I'm just looking to work to develop myself and become a better player to help the team in any way I can.
We're gonna go to Brooks and then Ed.
Hey Ty, congratulations and welcome to Philly. I saw that you were at Nebraska with Cam Jurgens late there. What's y'all's relationship like?
Yeah, no, me and Cam was a year older than me when I came in, and so I got to kind of see him grow up and learn the position at center. So we got to battle against each other each and every day. So we were pretty close. And then when he's been back here for a little bit, just doing some workouts, staying, doing off season stuff, and I just kept kind of joking with him. I said, make sure you put in a good word for me when you go back, and he's like, oh, trust me, I am. So yeah, no, me and him, I'm super excited to be back and playing with him and going against him every day.
We'll go to Ed and then Martin.
Hey Ty, congratulations. What does this moment mean for you to be, one of the few people that get selected in an NFL draft? Sorry.
I mean, just to have, all the people here loving and supporting me. Obviously, if I could, the house that we're in right now would be filled all the way to the outside. Just I know how much love and support I've got. All the hard work and sacrifices. It's made it worth it, and it's just kind of fueled the fire more to get there and get started and get to work. And I can't be thankful enough for the people that helped me get here.
We'll go to Martin and then Dave.
Hey Ty, congrats on getting drafted. I wanted to ask you, like in those workouts with Cam Jurgens and everything. I mean, did he tell you at all about like the Eagles' defensive tackle room with like Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis? And how do you feel like being on the same team as those guys?
Yeah, I mean, he's told me, some stories of what it's like to be at practice with them. Obviously, watching the Super Bowl just to see how dominant they were in the game. I mean, you saw how they just basically took over the game and controlled it. And so I'm excited to get in the room and meet the guys and obviously earn the respect of them and try to see how I fit in with them.
We'll go to Martin and then Dave.
Oh, that was me just now. So
Sorry, we'll
Dave,
go to
you're up.
Dave and then Olivia.
Hey Ty, congratulations. We saw your numbers and your stats kind of explode this year as a pass rusher. What was the key to that?
I just taking advantage of all the resources that Nebraska gave. Having Coach T Knight, picking his ear about everything, really helping me hone in on stuff out there on the field. Also, I feel like, with being a pre med major, finally graduating and being able to fully, dive right into football and, give all my time to that, really helped that. Obviously, I had an injury as well when Coach Rule first got here. But, setbacks are the greatest part about football because you get to learn more about yourself and just being able to take, like I said, take advantage of everyone here with the resources, with the strength staff, with the nutritionists, with Coach Rule and T Knight as well. I mean, that this place is special.
We'll go to Olivia and then John.
Hey, Ty, your production took a really big jump this past season, whether it was your development or the situation you were in. What allowed you to take that jump in your game?
I think it was just going out to practice, knowing that, work on one thing for this till you get good at it, with each period. And then, really just honing in on the film as well, just going up there, watching it with whoever it may be, myself, T Knight, Coach White at the time. Like, I think just being able to be cerebral about what you need to do. And then when you go out to practice, being deliberate about what you want to do and not just going out there, just to practice to practice.
We'll go to John and then Dave.
Hey, you mentioned Matt Rule a little bit. We have a history of him here in Philadelphia when he was at Temple. What's it mean to get one of those single digit numbers for Matt Rule?
Yeah, I mean that tradition that he brought in, obviously, he wanted us all to be bought into his philosophy and his ways. So I was going to buy in 100% because I wanted to do what was, needed to win, and being able to, earn that single digit from my fellow teammates, and kind of have myself be looked on as the standard of the program and as one of those guys to represent everyone else. I mean, it's a true honor and privilege that I take part.
We'll go to Dave and then Ed.
Hey Ty, how often did they use you at fullback in Nebraska, and is that something you'd like to get a chance to do in the NFL level?
We did that play 8 times and we scored 7 out of 8. I don't need the ball. I'll go out there and block. That's for sure.
We'll go to Ed and then Rube.
Yeah, Ty, you said you're a pre-med major. Is that kind of the goal for you once your playing days are over, is to become a doctor of some kind?
Yeah, I'd love to go and go back here to Nebraska. They've got the Med Center in Omaha. I feel like it's one of the most prestigious in the country, and I'd like to go into pediatrics. When football is finally closed for me, but hopefully that's not for a very long time.
Nice.
We'll go to Rube and then we'll finish with Jacob.
How challenging was it for you to balance pre-med and football and the demands of both?
It was definitely a challenge I had to overcome. I when COVID came, like it's the best example I can give. When COVID was here and we didn't know we were playing a season, I decided that I'd catch up on school. So I decided to take 19 credit hours, and along with us basically having 3 fall camps. And then finally they were like, "Yeah, you're gonna have a season now in October." And I was like, oh well, shit, like now I have to take these 19 credit hours and get ready for this season. So I definitely, our sports psychology and that whole department is tremendous. Like went to them and Dr. Haskell, and just asking, how to balance, and giving me the tools and the ways that I could use to be healthy in both football and my school as well. So definitely was a big hurdle for me and learning curve, but when you have the right resources and the right people to help you out, you can get through it.
We'll finish with Jacob here.
Hey, Ty, two-part question here from Phoenix. First, how did Higley High School prepare you for the NFL? And then secondly, I saw in 2017 there was a matchup in the playoffs against Saguaro and Keely Ringo. So curious if you remember anything about that game and what it's like to be teammates with him now.
Yeah, I mean, I have Higley. I have a lot to thank for Higley and Coach Zuby and Coach Licht. I mean, those guys took me in. I transferred there. They allowed me to be me. I also got to thank both my mentors, who's now one of them's my stepdad, and Dwayne Milner and Kelvin Fisher. I mean, since I was 10, they kind of introduced the idea that, this football life could be a real thing and I could go really far with it. So they helped me prepare and train and, kind of get all the foundation built when I was at a young age to help me take on, the challenges of Higley and then going into college as well. And then that 2017 game, man, I mean, that was double overtime. We lost, we called, they were freaking top school in the state. They were pretty good, and we took them down to the wire. I actually scored a touchdown in that game at tight end. So if y'all go back and look, I used to play tight end back in the day. But yeah, no, Keely's a freak athlete. I mean, I saw that when we played him, and also watching him at Georgia as well. So I'm super excited to have that type of talent around me now.
Thanks, Ty. Congrats again, and we appreciate you taking the time today.
Yeah, thank you guys.